Welcome to the next episode of Chicken and the Fat Lady. Cutting myself out there. Um, this is a place where facts are currency and common sense is a commodity. I am the Fat Lady.
And I'm Chicken. Our last episode, I'm gonna piggyback off of just a little bit, um, talking about Peg Seth, um, because we just had such a wonderful time, um, as we do, just berating the conservative Mannonites. Um,
Well, it's at Manosphere, right?
it's
It's the
Manosphere, but I wanted to say something other than Manosphere, even though we're talking about the
okay,
Manosphere today too. I wanted to call them
okay,
like the
yeah, yeah,
Mennonites, like the
okay,
Mennonites, but they're the
yeah, the
Mennonites.
Mannonites. Okay,
Um, but
it's like
so
my flock you to flock cameras.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So we talked about the bench press video, and uh, this this is not in any way. I know that we've progressed sort of socially to not use terms like that's gay or whatever as derogatory because of multiple social things. But I mean, just looking at Heat and RFK Jr. just shirtless, jeans and out, doing their like Frisco tan workouts and whatnot, has to be the most like Top Gun homoerotic set of people. I mean, it I don't know. Ah,
So
it's like
there
pushing like
is,
Richard Simmons or some shit over here, you
yeah,
know?
this is so shout out to Public Offender, another black
Right.
creator I follow, but
Yep.
he primarily, talks about the manosphere stuff and homosocial.
Yep.
This is performative for other men. They're not doing it for women because we're looking at RFK and going, dude, can you pull your pants down a little bit because your fucking waist is up to your tits, man. Yeah, you look like a clown. You're not on the cover of a sports magazine,
All right.
standing there because that's the outfit that you're wearing, even for that, because I could give a shit about that stuff either. But these are the people that are supposed to be leading us. And for me, there is nothing that shows that you have the least amount of testosterone than when you're trying to show off that you have the most amount of testosterone. There
Oh,
is nothing
completely.
less manly than when you have to have your manliness on display all of the time. When you have to I'm just a man because I'm a man and I'm man and I'm out here and I'm man and it is it's tiresome.
I mean,
It's
but
got to
like
be
that's,
tiresome.
I mean, like, but so going
I gotta plug my
diving in,
computer in.
I'm so in. We're
Yep.
talking about the manosphere, um, while technical difficulties are happening.
I know.
We're leaving all of this in.
I know. We are. We're absolutely. It's all staying in. I don't give a
This
shit. It's
is
all
this is
staying
one
in.
of the more lax days. It's hot. We're leaving all this in.
Look, these
So
are candid conversations between a mother and son, and we're just letting you all in. And we're never always going to say the right thing, and we're always going to piss somebody off, and we're here for it. So, yeah.
so I'm sure everyone has seen or at least heard of, Louis Theroux's documentary back in March, Inside the Manosphere. Um, talking about hypermasculinity and the red pill philosophy and, you know, traditional gender roles and all that stuff. And so going back to your whole thing of like, there's nothing that's less manly than trying to be like the more manly, trying to show off your manliness and schedule out your man time and do men stuff. Uh, I mean, what happened to like, the commercial where like, I don't know, you threw like Carmen Electra on like a Heineken commercial? Don't you guys want that more? Don't you want to see that more than like RFK Jr.'s like I said, Crisco baked tan self?
But honestly, aren't we past the fucking Carmen
I mean,
Electra nonsense and bullshit too?
no,
Like,
no, and it's not
so this
anything
is
specific to her, but I just mean
no,
like hot lady selling you a product. Now
No,
you
no, no,
have,
no, no. Yeah, I get it.
yeah,
But this is my thing though. Like, so the fucking NBA almost committed one of the greatest would have been red pill sins, I think, ever. And
yeah,
it was a white NBA basketball player. Thank you so very much. Um, who brought it to the attention of folks because the NBA was having a celebration in Atlanta and they were going to incorporate the Magic City Strip Club with the magic of the NBA.
right.
Are you fucking kidding me? Look, if you want to strip, you strip. But let's go ahead. We can get down to the facts on why you're stripping, right? We can get down to what brought you here in the first place. There is no woman who's had a clean childhood who's in the strip club, y'all. I'm sorry. And yes, it is exploitive, both self and from others. I don't care. You do what you need to do to make a living. If that's what you need to do, you do it. But this whole idea that this is still normalized in this culture today, if women were going to see men strip on the same level that men are, it would fucking crush the men in our society.
Yeah.
It would absolutely annihilate them. They would not know what to do
Well, it would crush
because,
all the weak men, is what it would.
well,
And the
yeah,
weak
well,
men aren't
yes.
who you think the weak men are.
But look,
They're the
I'm
manosphere
sorry.
guys.
I don't want you going to the strip club to get ready to come home to me. You know what I mean? You want to think about that woman, you think about that woman. You don't need to be with me thinking about that woman. This
Right.
whole acceptability factor of stripping in our society is absolutely ridiculous. And we need to call it for what it is. It is exploitation. And again, none of those women are clean. If you show me a woman who's clean that's in a strip club, and I am not talking about clean physically, I am talking about mentally. I'm talking about women who were unharmed in their childhoods. I am not talking about men who used to be on the football field as college athletes and didn't make it, so now they're going to do the Chippendales tour. All right, I'm not talking about these guys. And the fact that it's okay and that the whole point of equality and feminism is that so that women don't still have to do the same fucking bullshit that they've always been doing so that a woman can just be herself and go down the street and not have to worry about what she's wearing. So that if she's singing, she doesn't have to perpetrate this role of some kind of nymph or Lolita or someone that you have to want to fuck in order to be able to find worth in her. And we can go back to this, all leads back to fucking, we can bring in Windaside, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because the goopy colonialist, she said a few years back, she said, I can't believe that we're in a society, I'm paraphrasing now, where a woman's opinion depends on the level if the man wants to fuck her or not. Bitch, where you been living? That's what our whole society has been based off of. Our entire society has been based off of what men have decided our value is. If a man, I know when a man doesn't want to talk to me because he doesn't find me attractive. He doesn't even find me marginally interesting enough that my opinion is worth it. And you know what? Hey, buddy, feelings mutual.
Right back
You
at you.
think that right back at you, babe. And that's the other thing. It's funny that men only think that this goes one way. It's the same way. We feel the same way about you.
Yeah.
If you have nothing viable to say, we do want to hear what you have to say. If you have something viable to say, but you can be a pretty fucking package and have nothing viable to say, and I don't want to hear you. That's the difference. So this whole red pill nonsense, I was in a discussion with the producer, Paul. Hi, Paul, of the red pill on Netflix.
Yep.
What a fucking absolute piece of garbage. This guy is a biologist, and there's someone who is no clearer would set up, to me, this is my opinion, that it would set up that he would do a study skewed so that it could be skewed to make sure that the outcome came his way. He also tried to justify the assaulting of women who were too drunk outside of bars and who were scantily clad. And I had to retort to him that it was absolute fucking nonsense because in a society filled with women, if that was a fucking frat boy who was passed out drunk in the bushes, you know what wouldn't have happened if a whole bunch of women happened upon him? He would not have been assaulted.
Right.
Which in a
100, you know.
situation where it's a bunch of men, men will do the assaulting. They will take advantage of that person. Why do you think every time I hate the cliches of these apocalyptic scenarios? Because the first thing we do is get women, we imprison them so that we can rape them. Like that is the first, before food, before everything. We have to control a
Well, I
woman's
mean,
body.
it's the most important thing in the apocalypse, obviously. I mean, but
It,
you know,
yeah. Sorry, I know that was
from
a
the
long tangent. I know that was a long tangent, but this
from the
pisses me
red pill
off.
to the fem pill, we're talking
I
about trad
mean,
wives too.
I'm
That's part
a
of the. That's
50
part of
fucking
the.
3-year-old
Yeah.
woman. This is my generation has been forgotten. And I honestly, I said to your father today, what the fuck have we Gen Xers done to our children to make them turn out to be Nick Fuentes? Nick Fuentes has never touched a vagina. He's
Never
never
even
held a
kissed a woman.
booby in
I
real
mean,
life. He's
he's
never,
obviously at least gay at the very
you
like
see, and he wants us all to talk like we're in the 1950s. See?
right.
Are you
And
kidding me?
there's nothing wrong if Nick was gay. The things that are wrong
Absolutely
with Nick are his like
nothing.
white supremacist neo-Nazi, white, cleansing, ethnic cleansing of everyone who isn't a white man of a certain status, you know. But if him being gay is not one of his diminishing qualities. But I mean, it's all
No, it's
encompassing, right?
his personality is right,
Yeah,
but he thinks that women shouldn't have the right to vote. Nick, go sign up and serve this country. Go get you some testosterone and go sign up and serve this country because
yeah. Go
the
talk to
woman
Pete.
sitting in front of you, she signed up. And she didn't, it wasn't for patriotism. It was so that I could see the world because I was a poor kid. But that doesn't take away from my service. It doesn't take away from the sacrifice that my uncle made because he made the ultimate sacrifice for this country at the age of 19 in Vietnam. So it doesn't take away any of those things. My service matters just as much as every man's service, and every trans person's service, every human being's service.
Yeah.
And the only thing this fucking manosphere wants to do is continue to talk to one another about how it is that they're supposed to talk to women. Why do you listen to a whole bunch of men tell you how to talk to women when women are telling you that's not how we want to be talked to, but you double down on it? I mean, Andrew Tate sent messages to one of the girls and said that he liked raping her. And yes, I'm using the word because it's a fucking tragedy if a victim can't use that word to describe what has happened to her.
Right.
If a
And we can't
victim
talk
can't,
candidly
right, and
using
talk
the
about
language.
exploitation, because that's what it is. It's the exploitation of women and children and people that we see as inferior. So he sent these text messages to this person. He told on himself. He had a whole club where he paid inferior people to be like him. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And almost got caught, or well, was
I
caught, and
mean,
almost until, you know, Mummy
but this is,
Mantis brought him over and decided, hey,
oh
we
my
like you,
God,
boy. We like
right?
what you're saying. Look, so
Right.
I mean,
Oh my
just
God.
from the onset, like I can't speak for, and it's weird because I don't think there was necessarily an equivalent when I was, the youngest Gen Z, or the entire generation of Gen Alpha's age at the time. I don't think there was necessarily like a Myron Gaines or an Andrew Tate or a Sneeko, right? We also didn't have the internet as we have had it for the
No,
past
there
10
was
years.
just the only influences that were there then at the time were just conservative voices on AM radio.
You're
And
right.
they saturate AM radio till still to this day. Still to this day.
But like that was rarely, that wasn't really, I mean, it was
In our
accessible,
sphere. Yeah,
but
that
it's
wasn't
not,
in our sphere.
I was
Yeah.
listening to Radio Disney as a kid, man.
Right.
Like
Right.
I was
Right.
not being brought up as, as an iPad toddler
No.
watching any of this. So I can't really speak to. However, I mean, you know,
We drove across the
just
country 3 times and you had nothing to do when you were like 5 years old. So you know what I'm saying?
right, but just to have this mentality, right? Even like even if you all did not put in the extra amount of like scruples and morals and to the hey watch your backs of lessons in the world, I still don't think I would be even marginally susceptible to this manosphere nonsense. I think that
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it just takes a certain. And first of all, um, I don't think we did anything. And I don't mean it like we didn't do anything good, we didn't do it bad, we didn't do whatever. I believe that you're inherently who you are because that's who you were meant to be. I
yeah,
think you're a good and kind, decent person because that's who you were meant to be. I don't think that has anything to do with us. I think, yes, we tried to show you certain things, but I do think inherently who you end up being at the core of your person is the person that you are. And that
right.
doesn't have anything to do with anybody but you. Yeah.
And I mean, it's probably more than anything. It's just the critical thinking, right?
Right.
And higher IQ for the
Right.
most part,
And
right? I'm not sitting here,
accepting
right?
of everyone and not discriminating. And you were raised without the fear of religion and a God and all of those things. We taught you to be good people without using any religion. We never talked about religion in our house because we never wanted you all to be influenced by that.
Right. And then it's all encompassingness. And so, and I'm not to say like, I'm taking the IQ tests and I'm hitting Einstein numbers. No, but
Right.
um, you know, and what's crazy too is like the people who watch this. I think it falls into like this old statistic of like hypnosis, right? Like in 10% of the people of the population, 20% is susceptible. They'll get hypnotized every single fucking time. Of the other 10%, never going to work on
Never.
them, not all. And then the
Never.
80% is, a bunch of people just fall in between and can fall either way as the remaining 80%. It may work on them sometimes and other times in different circumstances, this, that, and the third. Like I think that's how it kind of came to be. It's like I'm part of the 10% where like this nonsense is just not going to penetrate. And I mean, even a bunch. Take Myron Gaines, right? And let me let me dead name him because I mean, be proud of your fucking heritage, dude. Right? Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
I understand your grift.
Absolutely.
Your grift had to be built upon, like Western Anglo-Saxon, white sort of conformist styles of trying to get ahead. But let's see. So he's Amru Fudil, I believe, Amourufudl, right? Arabic.
Okay. Hmm.
He's a Barbadian American. Oh no, excuse me. The other guy that's on his Fresh and Fit podcast is Barbadian American.
Okay. What is
Walter
he?
Weeks is his name. But I don't know. It doesn't have an official name for him. You know, his
He looks
slave
like
name and
he
his
could
Christian
be.
name. You
I know,
know,
but he looks like he could be of Ethiopian descent, just
yeah,
with his skin tone and his
he
features.
is non-white, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's the
absolutely.
big
Right,
thing to
right,
get.
right,
So you
right. And
take someone,
I don't mean to misalign what his heritage is. I'm just telling you
Right.
what he looks like to me as a
Well,
lay
I
white.
mean, when you're part of the manosphere and you're telling women to submit just like you like churches are, I really don't care about dead naming you, and
Right,
I don't
right.
really respect your own sort of. You put yourself out there, you're going to get scrutinized, right? We're putting ourselves
Absolutely.
out there.
We're going to get
Uh,
scrutinized. People
at
are going to talk
least
about our looks and all of that shit,
at least
whatever.
I'm
Who
a good
gives a shit?
person,
Yeah,
but
exactly. I'm a decent human being.
so Myron, Mr. Fadil, um, doesn't didn't I mean his so in the Louis Theroux documentary, he talked to him and even talked to there was some behind the scenes where he talked to his girlfriend at the time who eventually left him soon after that. But she said, like, oh, well, he's not really, like that, off camera. That's just kind of a persona. And Sneeko does the same. Like, people say the same thing about Sneeko. As he called his mother, maybe it wasn't Sneeko, it was someone else. That called his mother during the interview, and had her on while he's talking with Louis. And she up front is like, I would have smacked the shit out of him if I ever
Right,
heard him say that in the
right.
house. So they're not even genuine, right? From the long line of, because of course they're like right wingers too, they're
Yes,
Holocaust deniers,
right.
they're
Well, because they have to
slavery
support all of the things.
apologists,
They have to support all of the things.
you know.
Right. Because if they don't support all of the things, then the cracks can show. Yeah.
Look, yeah, because look, if you're a tech bro or you're a manosphere bro, or a health bro or whatever, finance bro, right? You're definitely gonna usually lean conservative.
Yes.
Um, but they
Yes.
don't even really there's not even 100% that they even believe that, right? It's all an act. So then it really hits I mean the 10% that are already in, you're probably not going to be able to save them, but like that
Right.
80%, like how can that 80%, how can a portion of that 80% of people look at that and know that, like, they may not be serious, but then like still agree with a lot of the core concepts of this manosphere shit. I mean, the whole, it goes
Because
hand in
it's what
hand.
they
The
want. Right.
Yeah,
It's what they
right.
want.
The hand in
It's
hand with the
wishful
whole
thinking.
like the trad wifeism too, right? It's basically it's the point. It's the other side of the coin. It's a bunch of women who are also submitting to the patriarchy and telling you your life would be so much better if you gave up your individuality and your agency as a woman. Meanwhile, in old times, you wouldn't have been able to film this thing telling women to give up their agency because you wouldn't have been able to leave the house. I mean, it wasn't
It's
until like
oxymoronic. It is
yeah, it
oxymoronic.
wasn't
You
until the
literally,
mid 80s, people, that women could get a fucking credit card in her name. Let's
yes.
not forget that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You are romanticizing,
I'm not
because
Catholic
that's
because my father wouldn't sign a piece of paper for my mother to make me Catholic
and
because
that's
she needed to have approval in 1972. Yeah.
right.
Hmm.
And that's where this all goes back to, like this manosphere stuff, and these, like, all of these gender roles. It's a cover up for sure um to keep poor people in their place and whatnot, and tell them how to live their lives. But that's what it all dates back to. I mean, this and the grift, and I just and even what they tell you about, how, like, how to be a man. Like, they don't really tell you how to
Right.
be a man. They just tell
Right.
you, like, what your girl
You're
should
supposed
do.
to be a provider. You've
Or
got to provide and but you don't really provide for her. You just basically want a woman at home who you can sleep with when you want to sleep with her and who
right.
cleans the house and raises your children.
But you
And
don't
it's
really have to
only
be
there.
committed to her.
Exactly. You don't have to be committed to her. You don't have to be committed to the children. You don't have to be committed to the household. You just have to give the appearance that it is. And you
Right.
should have as many of those little white bastards as you can because they don't want everybody to have children. Let's face
Oh
it.
yeah.
They don't want children that look like you. They don't
No
want
one looks
Hispanic
like me.
children.
I'm the darkest brother around. We know
I know
that.
you're the darkest brother around, but they don't want you. You're so dark, you're transparent. They don't want you,
Yeah.
right?
No, I mean, and so it's the aspect of family, but they don't really teach you how to do that. it's the aspect of, again, like finances. They don't really tell you, you know. I mean that, and I this is the stupidest name when I heard it, but that clavicular fucking dude,
Oh my God, what a douchebag.
what an
What an
absolute
absolute
for
vapid piece of fucking shit.
so
Seriously.
for the younger people,
And I shouldn't even know his name as
you
an old
shouldn't
lady. I
you
should not know who he is.
I was
Yes.
gonna say, because like even for the younger people, if you're familiar with Channel 5 with Andrew, I forget his name, but he did his own little interview because he's, talking about
It's hilarious.
looks. I think it's Andrew Callahan, I believe is his name. But I'll put an addendum in the description to link to the channel. But I mean, he went in to do an interview with Clavicular, the looks maxer, as
So
as it
stupid.
calls it. It's so absolutely,
So stupid.
again, intelligence. You have to be able to high jump over a certain IQ number. Otherwise,
Yeah,
you're just screwed.
absolutely.
But so
Absolutely.
he's so he goes to have an interview with this guy, and he's pretty much set up, and they start the interview, and Clavicular basically goes like, "Are you telling me you don't wake up the morning and think I need to look better than I do, or that I'm just happy as I am?" And Andrew goes, "No, yeah, I kind of look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, I'm okay with this." And Clavicular goes, "All right, when I don't think there's any point in doing this interview because I think that's fucking disingenuous." Like the absolute mental audacity,
Wow.
right,
Wow.
of
Yeah.
this entire mind space is is absurd. And
And
so when
again,
you
who are they doing this for? They're doing this for other men. And
they're the grift.
how pretty do you want the alpha male that you're supposedly following to be? And by the way, I don't think he's pretty. He looks so completely fake. I don't, he looks alien to me. He
but
looks
the
like
but
there's
the
something wrong with him.
concept of, like we talked with Peg Seth, having the makeup chiseling, like, and also you're having gender affirming care, right? You chiseled your jaw, giving yourself the dimpled chin, right? I
Is
mean,
that nose real?
right. I think he's had something done. I mean,
Yeah,
just
he
take your
looks
pick.
like he's completely been done.
And this is part of the
And
women
so
hate
is
thing too, because
why
we
is it
always
clavicular though? Why is he called clavicular?
I am not, my IQ is not room temperature enough to
To
even
know. I
care
understood. Yep.
to
Yep.
know
Understood.
why his name
Right.
is clavicular.
Does he have a butt chin?
I think he's got a dimpled thing.
Yeah,
I think
okay, so he's got a
was
butt chin.
I think there was work done so that he had, yeah, like the
Okay.
old school, like bit off of
Yep.
fucking Back
Yep.
to the
The butt
Future
chin. Yep.
butt chin,
The
right?
the superhero comics with the big
Right.
dimple. Right,
You
right,
know, the
right. Okay.
Superman type
Yep,
stuff.
exactly. Exactly.
Um,
Again, back to the 50s and things, but
yeah, exactly.
again, yep. Mhm.
But this is another thing why, it's okay for thee and not okay for me but not for thee, because it's like,
Right.
how many times do we dog on women who have all that work done and this, that, and the third done to
Okay,
their
I do.
bodies and their faces and shit like that, right? But
In total fairness, I must say this. I had not seen Cardi B in a few years, and she came across my screen the other day, and I had no idea who she was.
oh no, there are some warranted. I mean, we joked about
So,
Joan Rivers for
and
decades,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, oh
But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the point is, don't joke on people, because all these people look terrible, right? Men,
They all
women,
look
anywhere in
plastic.
between.
I
Uh,
don't, they don't look like real people.
right. But the absurd amount of okay hate that a woman can get, you know, for changing her or
Right,
enhancing her
appearance. Right,
appearance.
right, right.
But you're, as a man, it's not expected, or to be given that same level of hate and disdain for, look, if you want to see, back in the day, it was called being metrosexual. If you
Right, right,
showered and you cared about your looks and whatnot.
right.
Modern day, if you care about your looks, if you, even as a straight man or whatever in between, want to wear makeup. I mean, I was in theater. I wore makeup. I didn't. Didn't really
Alex
care, meant
Rodriguez
nothing.
has a makeup line. A Rod has a makeup line now, y'all. I keep telling you, men,
So
you want to
look,
wear it,
even
wear it.
you do whatever you want. It's your life. I don't have the energy to care about the little things you do in your life because I'm doing my own life. But the dictation, again, as always, with these guys in the manosphere is just it's you kind of have to just think. And I mean, it goes back to, the old adage, the golden rule, right? They want to tell you how to treat others and women and this and that.
But
What
they
have we
don't
said
follow it.
multiple?
Right.
Yeah, what do we say multiple times? We say be a good person and
Yep.
mind your own business,
Yep.
right? Um, and it's I don't know, it's another one of those things where it's like I don't think I can necessarily reach out to like and try to quote unquote save people from that pool
No,
because it just feels like
they're wired
something you
differently.
should
I
know.
really do think they're wired differently. I don't think
There's
they're wired the same as we are. I
there's
don't.
common sense and again on top of the whole like and they fall under that conservative umbrella as well, to where, like I said, they're Nazi sympathizers, they're slavery apologists. They're down for the trad wife movement, but not in the way that is empowering. Only, more like akin to the Handmaid's Tale
That's
than
exactly what they want. Katie Miller
actual.
quoted The Handmaid's Tale in a speech.
Yep.
Katie Miller. And again, you're sending a woman out to tell other women to stay at home and not be out here doing this stuff. But it's okay for me to be out here. Katie Miller would crash if her voice was lost. Katie Miller would absolutely succumb if she was stuck at home raising those four children that
Right.
heaven forbid if they look like him. Oh my God. And not being able to be in the public eye. So why is she in the public eye and not at home raising them damn kids? The whatever her name is just had a baby, the press secretary, stay at home, raise that baby. You don't need to come back to work, right? If you
Hey,
want to talk the talk, then you need to walk the fucking walk.
hey, Erica, stay at home. You wouldn't have what you had. I know I'm going to be woman bashing here, but you wouldn't have had if you had without Charlie, Miss Kirk. You wouldn't be in the position. But
Right.
no, after your husband is murdered, you went on a whirlwind tour, left your kids, of their
Oh,
freshly
yeah.
dead father,
Right.
right? And this
Right.
isn't me championing Kirk. Kirk was a piece of shit, and
Oh, absolutely.
I'm not
Kirk
sorry. At
was the
what
man
one?
that is the same age as you who went to college campuses to talk to 18 and 19-year-olds to try to influence them. Erica is older than Charlie was because she was a few years older than him. And
Yeah,
she decided that she thought she was going to pick up and try to do the same thing. Stay in your lane. The both of you should have stayed. Charlie didn't say anything that was factual. Charlie went on feelings. And yes, to say what Charlie supposedly was somehow an original to say this, but was not, just because it hurts your feelings doesn't mean it's true. And you know what? Just because it hurts your feelings, fuck Charlie Kirk. It doesn't mean it's true. Nothing he said was true.
yeah. It's a whole grift. That's the largest sphere of a grift. I'm gonna get mine. I have no, you know, the big thing about the manosphere is it doesn't actually, like I said before, it doesn't actually like teach you how to to
It
to
doesn't do
be a
anything.
man,
No.
right? It doesn't do anything, but like the whole
Yeah.
thing that you would think the namesake, right? It should teach you how to be a man, how to protect. I mean, we talked about Nolan Wells, right? That's what a man in the making is, sending up a Down syndrome
Elevating a
student
person who was viewed
who was
as less than in
marginalized,
society.
right?
Exactly. Right.
Picking others up. I mean, you want to look at, we talked about Tallarico, him being a true man, lifting people up, being, being the change they want to see, being the provider, right? Because he's trying to help provide for all the Americans in his vicinity and
Yep.
and pave the way for even more. Um, Zoran Mamdani is a man to look up to, right? He does what he's going to do, and he's also just dope.
He
He
says
hangs
what he's
out,
going to do and does it. Yes. Yes. He
you
tells you
know,
what he's going to do and then does it. Yep.
for all you religious heads who want to burn me at the stake after saying this. I mean, Zoran Mamdani is probably more Jesus than you guys want to think,
Oh,
because he walks with the
absolutely.
poor, right? He
Well, he's
walks
more
with the
Jesus than Jesus, right? Because
right.
Jews don't believe in Jesus, and I'm studying mysticism, so
Yeah.
whatever, right?
But I mean, he's walking with, the everyman,
Right.
right? And being the provider, being the
Right.
protector, all these things that you're looking for in your Myrons and your Andrew Tates and your Nick Fuenteses.
No, because they
They're,
just want the fallacy that they're superior. They want it
I
to
know.
get to the point where they feel that the government is going to assign them a woman because they can't get one on their own because their personality sucks so very fucking bad because they live in the manosphere where they listen to other men talk about how you degrade a woman and that's how you get a woman and that's how you keep her. That's not how it works anymore.
Yeah.
This is not how it works anymore. The whole fallacy of women wanting an alpha male, the only reason women ever were attracted to alpha males was because they thought that they could get with these alpha males and then somehow control that man. What happens is that man who you are drawn to because you think that he's going to protect and provide for you because you think that he's going to stand up and fight everyone else for you turns around and starts fighting you, turns around and starts beating you because you wanted
Right.
that manly man, that masculine man, that man that doesn't know how to use his brain.
Look, we could go on this,
And
and
we'll revisit it.
from someone who is still in the steps of being a man, just be kind, um, to people who deserve to be kind to. Let's not let's not fuck around and be called the tolerant left when we're not, but be
Well,
kind
and
and
women
mind your
deserve less
business.
than if they are, just because they have a vagina. So
So, but that'll do it. We'll be back again in the next
peace.
episode.